Dr. Christine Cornea, she really came up with the concept of the Green Film Festival.
So it's a great example, really, of the cross-disciplinary working at UEA. It's something we pride ourselves on.
Is by Dr. Iram Qureshi, who, can you remind us of the title of your workshop that you're going to be hosting?
Yeah, it will be the impact of COVID on the films and environment.
Dr. Christine Cornea, she really came up with the concept of the Green Film Festival way back in 2016, something like that?
16.
15? Yeah. Maybe you can give us a bit of background behind it.
Okay. Well, it started... I actually was working with my niece, who was doing her PhD in environmental sciences, and we were keen to organise an event that sort of crossed disciplinary boundaries, because that's so important, particularly with something like environmental issues, where it literally does cross disciplinary boundaries. So we got the thing up and running with little bits of money from all sorts of different places, borrowing and everything, and it was a roaring success, and we only planned to do it once, but then it carried on because various people said please do it again. So we did it again, and then again, and then again, and it just grew and grew. And the festival has involved lots of Q&As, lots of workshops, exhibitions. We've had schools workshops, two of those that are real successes, which you've been involved in.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, they're not just films, they're screening events, aren't they?
And they are.
And some part of the attraction is often the guest speaker who comes to talk about the films. And this year we've even got like a speaker who's actually in one of the films.
We have
coming along.
We're very lucky. We've got Liz Bonin, who's a leading sort of natural sciences presenter on television. Very well-known face.
Even I've heard of her.
Yeah, even you've heard of her. And she will be speaking after a screening of the documentary that she presents.
Drowning in Plastic.
Drowning in Plastic.
Yeah.
So that's going to be really exciting.
I'm looking forward to that.
I think we'll have a full house for that event.
One of the good things about it as well is the interdepartmental sort of aspect of it, and someone like Andrew here, who we've brought in from the chemistry department.
So I've been working with Christine for the last two and a half years on a funded Global Research Translation Award project, and we've been working with a team in Malaysia. So we applied to the Royal Society of Chemistry for some outreach funding to support this event, and they happily agreed to fund it and support it. So we're now in the process of putting that whole event together.
Because part of that is like an exhibition as well, for like
lasting
the whole day.
So we're going to have a whole afternoon and evening of activity, including 2 film screenings, the one that Christine just mentioned with Liz Bonin, and also another film screening. We're going to have a talk, we're going to have interactive workshops, covering really the whole spectrum of activity at UEA and in the region, and the whole network of people involved in research on plastic and plastic waste. So we're going to feature some of our own research, some research that's going on around the university. We're going to present some spin-out companies that are developing new solutions to try and reduce plastic waste. And we're hoping that we can take people on a kind of journey through the whole world of plastics. Not just thinking about plastic as a problem, because right now, there's a big focus on plastics as a problem, but actually plastics are an integral part of our lives, and we need to understand them better, we need to respect them more, and we need to use them in different ways and think of more intelligent solutions.
So I'm working with Andrew and another event coordinator specifically on the plastics event. We're working to host a really fun and engaging event in the Enterprise Centre at UEA, which is one of the greenest buildings in the UK. It was presented at COP26 as one of the greenest buildings, and I think it's a really good building to host it in. We're going to have all sorts of local start-up businesses and businesses which are already well established to help us present some ways that we can reduce our plastic consumption and ways that we can reuse reuse plastics as well.
I think that's a really important day coming up. That's what date is that?
That's on the 21st, on the Saturday.
Saturday the 21st.
From midday until early evening if you're coming to the final film screening.
Yeah, and Christine also mentioned workshops. Apart from great films that we've got, workshops are really also an important aspect of the Green Film Festival. So we've got two main workshops coming up. One I mentioned before in my little Vox Pop by Dr. Miriam Kent on ecofeminist craftivism, which I'm looking forward to. But the other one is by Dr. Iram Qureshi, who can you remind us of the title of your workshop that you're going to be hosting?
Yeah, it will be the impact of COVID on films and environment, and it will basically bring some facts and figures and interesting information about how COVID has impacted in good way or in bad way on the filmmaking and on the environment, both of them, and it will be a correlation between all three of these things, the COVID, environment and the filmmaking, and we'll do lots of activities and lots of fun there as well.
But I should mention that also we've got some exciting films coming up at the Castle, Norwich Castle Museum as well, which is always a great venue to show films. So it's not just all based here on UEA campus. So that's a really important thing to mention.
Okay. I should also mention the people who aren't here today, who are very much driving forces behind the festival. Each year we have volunteer and some paid internships, and we have festival coordinators. So who deserves a shout out? Abby Kidd is one of our coordinators. She's been doing an awful lot recently, and of course
Alex
Alex Smith, forgive me Alex, I forgot you, who's also going to be doing some filming of some of the events on the Saturday. And we've also got Alex Wilson, who's our very patient, long-suffering technician, who makes sure that all the films get screened properly, and he sort of stands in the back of the Enterprise Centre in the screening box and makes sure that everything goes smoothly.
Like Cameron, it's not always the faces you see in front of you. There's lots of people working behind the scenes. Thanks, Cameron. Cameron and Iram, both of you.
So the Green Film Festival
is coming on the 19th,
20th and 21st of May.
So we hope to see you there.
All of you.